Hey guys, Kitty Sapphire here, and welcome to my live stream of con reviews. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to just get right into it because I'm actually a little short on time. I'm still working on a lot of merch for my BronyCon convention. Not this week, the following week. So there's a lot to cover and just a little bit of time to do everything. And I would have to say ValleyCon itself was a very interesting experience. But first I want to say thank you guys so much for coming by and visiting my booth, just coming to say hello, to support. It's nice to see people, returning customers, fellow EV fans, and actual fans of my work. I don't really have a lot of fans. I never had fans before, so this is really exciting. So it's really nice to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love, the support, and I really, really hope that I will continue to do this and bring you guys happiness. That's mainly my thing, my jam is to make people happy with my artwork and, just contribute in that way and just have fun with it. So yeah, so onward to ValleyCon. So let me just turn down the music because I'm not to get off too much on topic. I will probably go into grand detail about this on Wednesday, but I'm just really excited of what happened at San Diego Comic-Con, so I decided to play some music from my favorite announcement out of all the announcements. So, it's just a lot more to talk about on Wednesday, the Marvel announcement from San Diego Comic-Con. And I think rumor has it there's going to be a Pokemon review, so there's going to be tons of stuff. And you know me and Pokemon, it's like, oh. Anyway, so going back to ValleyCon. So ValleyCon, I'm going to tell you the pros, the cons, boom ching, and also the things that I would think, I would suggest and would like to see for next year. So, let's jump right into it. So, and may I mind you, please, whatever you do, this is just my only personal opinion. I'm not trying to be overly critical, or I'm doing it, I get to say anything bad about your con. No, it's more of I like to give constructive criticism to places that I really, really care about and really things that I love. And one of the things that I love, if you guys have seen any of my con videos or con reviews or just any of my videos, period, when it comes to certain things, small things, I want them to do well. And especially indie conventions, smaller conventions, I want them to grow and expand, especially the fact that we've had one convention in New York for a long time and it has monopolized everything. And now it's gotten so big that, and expensive, not everybody can make that big one. So having options is nice. It really is nice. So so when I say these critiques, it's out of love. So going on with the pros, I would have to say I like the arrangement still. They actually, for ValleyCon, they did actually go with the same venue as before. I have to say it was a very unusual pick. I always thought that, it's something that I was never accustomed to, but now that this is the second year that they're doing this, I'm a little bit more comfortable with it. And they didn't change too much. So like, for instance, when you go, it's a 2-floor mall. First of all, it takes place at a mall. It's called the Jefferson Valley Mall in New York. A little bit upstate New York. For those who are in the city, it's maybe a little bit of a trek for you guys. We're talking like Yorktown. So at this mall, a little bit a ways of Yorktown, more like Cortland. So this mall is called the Jefferson Valley Mall, and it's a two-story mall. And what they did was they had all the vendors, like, toy vendors and other displays of convention and, comics and stuff like that downstairs on the first floor. So sort of like, hey, hello, that, we have a convention here. And then on the top floor, they have like virtual reality, some of the video games, they have panelists, they have a stage so you can watch a movie or what have you, and then to your right has the artist alley, which is right next to the escalator. So as soon as you get on the escalator, you basically kind of see all these things. So it's a really nice setup. They didn't change too much of that. And I'm happy for it because it's very easy to get to. You know where you're stationed. If you've been there for the first year, you know exactly where you are and such. And that's pretty much it. I'm glad that they still have the panels. They still have the foundation of what a con is. You have a artist alley. You have a place for video games. You have vendors, and you have a panel, and then you have a couple of guests here and there. So you have that. So, and then of course the people that were there had a lot of positive energy. So like, even though, some of the other things, which I will disclose in my con section, no pun intended, will explain more of the energy of it and why it was so powerful and yet, so condensed. But, yeah, there was a lot of positive energy. People from around town, they actually use this opportunity or give an excuse to be in the mall because unfortunately, and this is based on the mall situation, there hasn't been a lot of influx of people in there. And, it was nice to have that energy. It seems like just con space in general, for the most part, has a lot of positive energy behind it. Lots of love for the content that is brought to this particular convention, and it's just wonderful. I love it, and tons of there was a few cosplayers. I won't say tons of cosplayers, but I can't necessarily give a full-on valuation of that because I know I didn't attend there Saturday. So, sorry about, so the cosplay thing might be a little bit, there wasn't a lot of cosplay from what I could see. So going onward to the cons of the con. Haha, I am so sorry. Yawning is not a language and should not be used. I deeply apologize. So the cons of the con. I would have to say there was, unfortunately, now may I mind you, this is their second year. So there are small conventions and they probably wanted to try a couple of things. Based from what I understand, that one hand wanted to try a certain thing and another hand, the teams that worked together, some had conflicting ideas, and one had a particular viewpoint which technically didn't work and therefore caused a little bit of infringe on the convention itself. But I digress. But again, this is only a second con, so I'm hoping and praying and asking all the positive forces in the universe that they improve the third time around. Because now that I'm comparing this con to their first year. Their first year, ValleyCon, was a huge, pleasant surprise. For a small con, it had a lot of advertisement. The attendees, there were a lot of attendees there. There was a lot to do. Even if you wanted to just shop at the regular stores, you had other stuff to do as far as panels and events. There were a lot more vendors downstairs for their first year. And then also there was a lot more artists in artist alley. Like I would have to say there was at least a good 6, maybe 7 of us on the first year. This year, a lot of it was downsized. There wasn't a lot of advertisement. There wasn't a lot of panels, sadly. There wasn't a lot of attendees. Some may argue because of the fact of the heat. Now may I mind you, it was disgusting this past week regarding with the weather. It was too humid. It was gross. It was just awful regarding that. So, it's just, it was just not really a very good look in that regard. There was hardly any vendors. Even Artist Alley was downsized. There was like maybe very limited. There was like there was two other vendors besides myself. So, I hope this is sort of like a learning curve for whatever part of that team, or whoever of that team learns from that mistake and hopefully comes back with a much more bigger, harder approach to it. Because me personally, I really want this con to survive. I really do. You have Undiscovered Realm, which is wonderful, and you also have Hudson Valley Comic Con. But some people might not be able to travel too far. Hudson Valley Comic Con is more farther upstate, farther than this con here. And then you have Undiscovered Realm, which is a little bit more southbound. It's nice to have a midway point. So I feel like this convention is a nice midway point, especially the fact that, from what I understand, especially for a lot of attendees in the first year, they complain that in their area there's not a lot going on. So this would be a perfect opportunity to have a lot more vendors, a lot more artists, a lot more panelists, voice actors, a lot more contests. Unfortunately, I only saw the children cosplay event this year, but I would have liked a little bit more, like maybe a masquerade, like a little skit that they have. They have some really good, but again, this is just based on my personal experiences, going to different types of conventions over the years. So I just really hope that this year would take note on it. Of course, I love the fact that another pro, I forgot to add this as a pro, it's still a 2-day thing. Still a 2-day thing. And I really appreciate that instead of it being a 1-day thing. Because a 1-day cons are great, but I guess you don't really get, I guess maybe it's because I'm spoiled. I'm used to having multiple days at conventions. I just feel you get, different energies over different days. So having it just one day, you're just getting started. You're not, I don't think you're putting, well, I don't want to say that, because you still have some really positive energy just for that one day. So I don't know. Me personally, I just prefer multiple days for conventions. That's what I'm accustomed to. So what I would like to see for next year. I did appreciate the panels, the panelists that were there. The voice actors, I would like to see a little bit more voice actors, maybe some of the people from Power Rangers or Pokemon, some of the voice actors of the recent Pokemon or the older Pokemon like James and Brock and Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh. Also the fact that you could have people come in from different like groups, like a cosplay group, a Lolita group, like something. I would have to say like you could have like Hudson Valley Lolita group. They're trying to give you like 101 of what it is to be a Lolita, and try to start a club or a group in Hudson Valley, or have a panel based on cosplay group. You have like somebody who's an anime organizer, and they have anime club at a particular college, and they do like sections of cosplay, or those who are looking for workshops, like a writer's workshop, or how to world build, or how to make characters, or a D&D group. I'm actually I'm part of a D&D group, right? And you could have some of the DMs and some of the players do a panel together and discuss how it is be a person who likes to play D&D and get people more warmed up to the idea of playing D&D. Because I hear a lot of people that are interested, but they might feel a little bit overwhelmed because it's said to be a dice system and you have several different dice, and building a character is very intimidating. Something like that to kind of debunk some of the mythology of what it is to be a D&D player. The masquerades could be little skits. You could have like little battles or dance-offs in with cosplaying. So to not just do cosplaying cosplaying contests, you could do like little comedy skits, like stand-up comedy with anime, with a geek or a nerd or somebody who's heavy into video games, or an otaku who's huge in anime and stuff like that, and tell jokes and stuff like that. I would like to see a diversity of panels. What I would like to see more of course, I would like to see more fellow artists. I felt this year was a little bit lackluster in that. But I hope, next year will be a lot better regarding that, because I really want to come back. I really do want to come. I definitely want to come back for this one. I really had a good time with the day. Hopefully I'll be able to make it both days, but, I really, really hope that there are more artists in Artist Alley this year. Also more vendors. Yes, I know it's a mall. Yes, I know it's a little bit challenging and it's not as spacious as one would said to believe, but maybe diversity in vendors as well. Not just toy vendors. You could have, expansive video game tournament. Just some more diverse in more geek merch. Like you can have a panel with, just plushies, or you have a panel with art supplies. Even though it's in a mall, it's a mall of clothing. You can have a booth where they have art supplies. It will draw a lot of the artists out of various attendees. I know I would. At Anime Boston, they have like a art section where you can buy art supplies, and you have like a little board where fellow artists and fellow otakus can draw on it, and they plaster their little piece of artwork on to show everybody. So these are just little ideas that I would suggest for next year. But again, like I said, these are just ideas. These are just my little critique. This is how I feel about it. But I did have a good time overall. That's the most important thing. So I had a good time. I just really hope, fingers crossed, that you guys take this with a grain of salt, and you guys do better next year. And I definitely would love to come back. So that's pretty much it on my end. And I really, really hope to see you guys again for Wednesday for Nerd News. We're going to be talking about Marvel. We're going to be talking about the possible Pokemon trailer. It's going to be crazy. It really is. And then I will be doing an unboxing. Where is it? I know I have an unboxing somewhere. And I think we'll do a little unboxing for Thursday. So there's going to be that. So I'm looking forward to this for the rest of the week, and I hope you guys are too. All right? Nice talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, and last but not least, I know you guys, when you guys visited at my booth, some of the text messages I got was that you guys didn't know that I was only coming Sunday. And, that made me a little sad. But if you guys want to keep in touch with me, and you guys want to know exactly where I'll be and what I'm doing, check out these sites at the very bottom of this video, and make a like, subscribe, ring the bell, become a follower on my Instagram and Facebook, and you'll definitely be able to catch me anywhere that I'm doing any tables or an artist alley or any event that is close to you and in your neighborhood. So please, 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 I implore you, subscribe, click on a like for my Facebook, like and love and follow me on Twitch and Twitter, and you'll be up on the latest information regarding any events that I have. Okay, guys? All right. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.